Oh, actually, let me explain my fucking nightmare of an internet service I had. So, I don't have a local mom and pop ISP. I have this like mid-sized ISP. So in Australia, every ISP is a reseller. So we have
Yeah.
the National Broadband Network. Everyone resells the NBN's lines. There is fixed pricing basically. Like there's no movement. The only difference is like their individual like networking gear. Um, so for a while, I was getting absolute garbage upload speed. I was getting my download just fine. I was getting my 250, but my upload was stuck at like 5.5-ish, maybe sometimes 6.5, when I should have been getting 25. Now, this was at like midnight, so there should have been no issue getting full speed. I
You'd think.
had 4 calls with my ISP, 3 calls where they all wanted me to do the exact same thing. Are you on Wi-Fi? Make sure you're not on Wi-Fi. I literally have a Cat 6 cable running from my modem into my computer. Make sure you're not on Wi-Fi. Like, oh, okay, you're not on Wi-Fi. Make sure you're not using 2.4 gigahertz. We just established I'm not using Wi-Fi. Why are you... Go off script a little bit, please. Setting up, like, bridge connections, doing all of these things, and, like, can anybody go off fucking script? Like, once I've done the
Okay,
same...
so you can I explain that to you?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I used to work tech support for an ISP.
Uh-huh.
They have the big letter V, and they serve a fiber optic internet service in New Jersey and Northern California. I think it's Northern California. It might be Southern California. I can't. I don't really remember. This was like 10 years ago. But anyways, yeah, the system that you would type all the customer notes into is literally a walkthrough wizard, because the people that they pull into that job, you have to first of all recognize that this is the world's crappiest job, because people will call you and the only thing that they ever do is file a complaint, because you're working tech support, you literally signed up for this, of course you're going to get the angry phone call.
Yeah.
And the phone calls are almost never happy to start with. Sometimes they end very happy. A lot of the times they end passively. And there's a certain fraction where you're sitting there explaining how to put batteries into the TV remote, when your wizard is telling you that this is a customer issue, it is not your problem. Now, this wizard literally will not progress unless they ask you that stupid question. And yes, they can cheat it. However, every single phone call is potentially monitored, and every single phone call is potentially audited, because they don't tell you when they audit the phone calls. And if you cheat your way through the wizard, that's immediate grounds for termination.
It's a bit harder to fire people in Australia than it is in the US, so...
Well, I also live in a right to work state where not only do you have the right to work, you basically have the right to get fired for any reason that is not federally banned.
Yeah, we don't. It's a lot harder to fire people. We have a lot stronger unions here. Just a lot stronger, like, employee protections. It's a lot harder to get rid. Even if they're fucking garbage, it's a lot harder to get rid of people.
Okay, as a small business owner, I recognize that, it's nice to have like those right to work laws, because then I can just fire the person that's obviously not doing their job. But as a person that has been an employee in the past and has applied for jobs and worked a lot of crap jobs, like scrubbing porta potties or working tech support for the letter V, I also recognize that it's very easy to get yourself fired. It's also very easy to become the wage slave in America. Because, that credit card application is like right there, and you're already pre-approved.
So
it's very easy to overspend.
So with this ISP, I eventually got the call escalated to a manager who was willing to actually like think off the script. And it turns out that there was like most ISPs, like they give you like a modem that they want you to use. This modem had a firmware update and added a new feature called QoS, quality of service,
Ah, yes,
and it enabled itself by default.
of course.
So it had put, I think the default mode was like general or something like that. So it was like, so most people don't need the full upload pipe because most people like uploading videos to Facebook, they're doing Snapchat, like 5 megabits fine. And it was
Yep.
hard locking to 5 megabit. It was like, hey, try turning this feature off. I'm like, I don't know how this feature got turned on. Turn it off. Boop. 4 hours.
Issue solved.
4 hours of calls. One person who's like, hey, try this feature. And it's like, okay, it's done now.
Yeah. Now, by intention, QoS is supposed to not do that. Because the way that it works is that if you use your internet service for longer and you were constantly using the upload speed to upload to YouTube, it would eventually prioritize that traffic. The issue is the policy that they're having might not be a self-adjusting policy. It might just be a hard lock policy.
It was very hard.
Yeah, so it could just be prioritizing voice traffic.
There was different modes. There was like a streaming mode, a gaming mode.
Yeah.
But like the mode that was on, it was like the general basic
Yeah, because
mode.
when you upload to YouTube, you're just doing a general upload of a file. And a lot of the general upload is actually, just syncing. And that's probably that was probably their intended use case because, that's what the normal person would do. Is they only use their upload speed because, they happen to be running like a cloud sync storage or something like that. Which, in that case, the speed doesn't really matter because past the initial upload, you're just uploading file changes.
Yeah. The one thing I do hate about this one thing I really fucking hate about the modem that they gave us. So it doesn't have a web interface to control it. The web interface just gives you a couple of status things. You control it with a fucking smartphone app. I cannot stand this thing. It is fucking terrible.
Yeah, I briefly bought Starlink. And by briefly means that I almost immediately returned it after I realized that in order for me to make any configuration change to that firewall, I would have to call Starlink and have them change it for me.
There's a fun story about Starlink that I'll send you. I just saw this earlier today.
Oh yeah, the fraud detection.
Yeah, so anyone just listening, Starlink's overzealous fraud detection locked users out of their accounts. Now, there is, on like the Starlink login page, there is no like number to call. There's nothing. The only thing you can do is send them a support email that they probably won't read. That is the only option you have.
Well, it also depends on how new of a customer that you are. If you're a brand new customer, they might respond to it a little bit quicker. Or if you're a business, they're kind of mandated to respond a little bit quicker. But that doesn't mean that they're going to respond any quicker.